existential threat to President Trump's administration, and I mean Doge, Elon Musk, Secretary of Treasury Bessent, Russ Vought, Stephen Miller, all of his people. The existential threat is right here in this city. It is the queen of lawfare. It's Letitia James.
And we are back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, y'all. Definitely do appreciate it. Y'all have been supporting this channel to the utmost, and don't stop now. Definitely appreciate y'all now. Now, check this out, y'all. Steve Bannon, who was and possibly still is one of Donald Trump's biggest supporters, he was brought up on certain charges in New York related to border wall funding. So he had some kind of plan or some kind of situation where he was raising funds for the border wall, and he caught a case with the authorities saying that he did not do with the money what he was supposed to do. Now, why are we talking about this today, y'all? If you think about it, border wall funding goes back to immigration. It's like almost all of these different themes that are happening right now go back to just 2 or 3 themes, with immigration being one of the biggest of those themes. Now, the reason we're going to talk about this today is not because Steve Bannon was sentenced to no jail time. We're going to talk about what Steve Bannon said after he got out of this hearing, okay? That's what we're really going to focus on. I'm going to read. Addressing reporters outside the courthouse, Bannon did not mention his own case, but attacked Bragg and New York Attorney General Letitia James, saying they were, quote, existential threats to the Trump administration. Quote, I'm calling on right now the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, to begin an immediate criminal investigation into Letitia James, Alvin Bragg, all of what they did to President Trump. Now y'all know we have been following the back and forth between the federal government and the state government. And I told y'all last week or the week before that the left, they are selecting Letitia James to be their front person. She is going to be leading the assault on the Trump administration. I didn't come up with this. I actually read an article or two about it, and I said, yeah, that makes sense. And we can see it happening, right? And now you have Bannon, who is one of, again, Trump's biggest supporters, just calling it out. He said that she is an existential threat to the Trump administration. What does that mean? That means she threatens, in his words, now these are not my words, in his words, Letitia James threatens the existence of the Trump administration. Let's listen to Bannon in his own words.
The existential threat to President Trump's administration, and I mean Doge, Elon Musk, Secretary of Treasury Bessent, Russ Vought, Stephen Miller, all of his people. The existential threat is right here in this city. It is the queen of lawfare. It's Letitia James. Right now, Soros has a DA that's running unopposed. He can call a grand jury at any time. He can set up criminal charges on the most bogus efforts. Letitia James runs this deal. She's got a pliant media right here, pliant left-wing media. She's got a jury pool of only left-wing radicals in the Upper West Side of this city. And she's got the judges. She's got all of it. And I'm calling on right now the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, to begin an immediate criminal investigation into Letitia James, Alvin Bragg, all of it, for what they did to President Trump. President Trump, on his Truth Social today, laid it out once again. The existential threat to his administration is this queen of lawfare, Letitia James, and how she has absolutely total control. And Doge and Elon Musk and Scott Bessent and all of them ought to be worried about this out of control city. Thank you very much.
So you can see there, Bannon does not mince words. He is very clear and very convinced in his point of view. And he's actually calling on the federal government to go legally, criminally after Letitia James and Alvin Bragg. And now, y'all, what's so interesting is that Alvin Bragg is a New York City official. Letitia James is a New York State official. They're both prosecutors. While at the same time, the New York City mayor was being pursued criminally by the federal government, and the Trump administration just essentially dropped the charges or declined to pursue the criminal case, the federal criminal case against the New York City mayor. And the Trump administration does two very interesting things. One, they say they think that the prosecution, which was started under Biden, they say that the prosecution seems to have been retaliation for the New York City mayor's take and stance on immigration. And the Trump administration actually says that they are not going to pursue the charges so that the mayor can do his job, part of which is to help with their immigration, with the Trump administration's immigration policy. You see how this is all being wrapped up back to immigration?
Language in the memo, but I will say this is not much of a surprise because Trump has said publicly that he would be open to pardoning Adams. He's tried to really kind of downplay the significance of the charges that were filed against him. And as you just noted, the two have been seen in social settings multiple times. Yep. So we knew something like this was in the works, even though this is not a pardon, it's a dismissal. But what's fascinating is how much they packed into this two-page memo, including, you said they didn't assess the facts, but they were also really careful here not to throw stones at the career prosecutors. Because as we know, there is a firestorm at DOJ and the FBI right now, concerns that the Trump administration is trying to purge the agency of career prosecutors. They say this in no way calls into question the integrity and the efforts of line prosecutors responsible for the case. That is definitely a deliberate inclusion there. Then they pivot to echoing what Adams has said. He has argued that he was only charged because he criticized the Biden administration's immigration policy. Right. And they lay that out and say the reason that they want to dismiss this case is so that Adams can apply more energy towards immigration enforcement. They say, quote, accomplishing the immigration objectives established by President Trump and the Attorney General is every bit as important, if not more so, as the objectives that the prior administration pursued.
There are one or two other major themes as well, which I mentioned in a previous video. I mentioned one of them, but I'm not going to go into that one right now, okay? Today's theme is immigration. So as you can see, y'all, you have the mayor of New York, who's a Democrat, and the Trump administration is essentially pitting him on the other side of the two, I suppose, Democrats, Alvin Bragg and Letitia James. So y'all, this is fascinating. It's bewildering. It's everything, right? So we're going to have to see how this unfolds. But what we have in summary is Steve Bannon saying that Letitia James is an existential threat to the Trump administration, that she and Alvin Bragg deserve to be arrested, basically, by the federal government, while at the same time the federal government is dropping or declining to pursue charges against the New York City mayor, who presumably is going to play ball as it relates to the federal government's immigration policies, y'all. So, wow, mind blown. You know what I'm saying? Now, you already know, y'all. I thank y'all for watching. Send this video out far and wide to all your family, friends. Make sure your grandmama sees it, your Aunt Betty. Make sure everybody sees it, y'all. I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to like. Please do comment. Let it know, how are you processing all of this? How are you processing all this? Comment down below. Let me know. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed already, y'all, we are getting close to 100,000. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you. Love y'all. And I'll see you back in the next one.